Radio Hereford FC, the only station with full match commentaries of the Bulls. Every game, every week.
Hello and welcome again to We're Going Down the Pub with me, Frank Williams, and the human computer virus that caused more crashes than Michael Schumacher. It is Mr. Simon Wright.
I think I was happy with Vlad the Impaler personally, but hey, go on then, go with that, I don't mind.
Well, I could just see this in Edgar Street where people come up to you and go, "Alright Vlad, yeah? Any free staples?" No? It's not going to happen, is it?
No, the last couple of games like I was invisible, but there you go, mutter darkly about poor sales, but there you go. Yeah.
Right, we're here to talk about North Leigh.
Yes.
Not hurriedly rearranged, but short notice, shall we say, rearranged match North Leigh on another Tuesday night.
Indeed.
Away match, December the 6th, which isn't too bad because it's one of our shorter journeys.
Yeah.
We prefer them on a Tuesday night.
We do.
But we would love them in sort of April, wouldn't we? March time, really.
But nevertheless, you and I have risen to the occasion, so to speak. I'll get Keith's sense of going.
I must try and describe to people your script here, which it looks as if it's been walked over by your cats.
It's been in the house for quite a while, so it probably has, yes.
And it's got lots of notes down the side.
Yeah, lots of food stains as well. But and professionals don't use notes, do they? But
no. And this has been prepared for us by Andy Gardner.
Andy Gardner, yes, good old Andy. He's done a couple in that area for us, and he does a really, really spot-on job.
Well, this is an Oxfordshire.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And you need a certain accent to be able to talk to the locals there.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think Andy is the man. He's got us a lot of information.
Should we be saying it's Andrew?
Oh, Andrew, yes.
Okay.
Or Sir Andrew, perhaps?
Yes. Well, you'll realise when we're talking like this, when we talk about the ground in a few minutes' time.
Yes.
But essentially this is a village, North Leigh.
Yes, it is. It's a small village, 3.5 miles northeast of Witney.
Right.
And, the grounds are in Eynsham Hall. So basically, my guess is it's a football ground in a stately home, basically.
Well, it should be a cricket ground, really, shouldn't it?
Well,
I think it probably was at one stage.
Yes.
It says here that the village has a population of 2,000 who don't normally have any stewards. Is that because there aren't enough people of the right age or build to be stewards?
Oh, yes, that's another food stain getting in the way there, mate. The village has a population of 2,000.
The ground doesn't.
The ground, no. Well,
average gates?
Well, I think they do, but they have no clue. It's a wet finger in the air job.
Right, so they think capacity might be 2,000. What's their average gate?
85.
85.
Which
right, okay.
we are led to believe it doesn't include the former Prime Minister, even though it's a constituency.
Right.
I mean, it's lit in the side down, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, our MP would be supporting his local club.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed, so you'd have thought, the guy's retired now.
Cameron probably doesn't even know it exists.
No, it's probably
never been there.
No.
Right.
They call themselves a village club, but they don't have village club finances.
Right.
They have a very generous sponsor, Stuart Donald, who is the owner of East Leigh. His office overlooks their ground. And let's say he's very generous with his sponsorship.
Yeah, but happy because there are rules about involvement in more than one club, even at this level. So
absolutely.
So he owns East Leigh, but he's a sponsor. He's purely a sponsor.
He's purely a sponsor
of a local club,
which is the only way you can do it without causing feathers to be ruffled.
He bankrolls them, or it looks like he might. We've got to be careful here. We don't get. He's obviously got the legal department.
No, well, there's not much you can do with an average crowd of 85. Really,
not really,
no. They've got a committee at 12, so that's like 1 in 6 of the crowd of the committee. But interesting, they do punch above their weight, probably because of all that money coming their way. They're not just in step 4 to make up the numbers. They've been in our league since 2008. never finished lower than 10th.
Yeah, his nickname is the Millers.
The Millers, yes.
Where did they get that from?
I believe there's still a working mill in the local village. Yes, yes.
Well, they're in the grounds of a stately home, basically,
Yes,
aren't they?
that's right. Yes. Now, you would like to imagine the team is like, consists of the local squire,
Yes.
and some big hulking farm labourers forming a big
It's
defence
like
at the
the
back.
old village cricket team.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you'd almost like to see. But no, you look down to the squad, and let's say that they're a pretty multicultural lot in their squad.
Right.
So you would imagine that they all get busted and all get bussed out, before and after games, and they go back to wherever.
Yes, right.
I can't imagine they live in North Leigh, but there you
No.
go. What else can I mean? John Brough, of course. John Brough is their manager.
Yep.
What a guy! And he's got 4 coaches.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, not
Football
bosses.
coach.
Yeah, football coaches.
Only
Yeah.
one of them has had his teeth removed and had his mouth fitted with seats.
But you do wonder what this lot do.
I know. What are 4 coaches for?
Yeah, I mean, Beat hasn't got 4.
What?
No.
4 coaches.
4 coaches, yeah. So I suppose that's why they're never finished
But
lower
if
than
they're
10.
bankroll to it,
Yeah, they can do it, But got a sort of mixed home record. They lost at home to Tivy, and lamentably they managed to lose at home to AFC Tottenham, which takes some doing, really,
Well,
doesn't
losing
it?
at home to Tivy is acceptable.
Yes. Yes.
Losing at home to Tottenham possibly is not.
No, but they did beat Sainsbury's.
Jolly good.
Yes,
Jolly good.
and they described it as the biggest game in their history. It was so big they had an attendance of 135 for that.
Oh, right. Right.
They do score goals. They average 2.5 goals a game.
Right.
So the multicultural income is making all the difference. I did touch on their committee. It's like 1 in 6 are on the committee. Go through the gate by the sound of it, and they got very interesting people, interesting jobs. And they got Barry Norman doing PR.
Barry Norman.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he must have got sick of covering films, wanted to do something different, I mean, I can imagine living in Oxfordshire, can't you? Yeah.
It's a Barry Norman, presumably.
Who knows? It probably is a Barry Norman, yeah. And even more interestingly, they've got a guy called Peter, who's the discipline secretary.
Now, this is really interesting because we haven't talked about it before.
Yes, we have
I
no
want
clue.
to know one thing. I don't want to know what a discipline secretary is. I'm not interested in that.
I am,
But I want to know why we don't know his surname.
Oh.
All right? It's Peter,
Yes.
the discipline man. It's a bit secretive, isn't it? And
Well, I can well imagine he's an elderly.
we've got Ken. We
got
know
Ken.
it's Ken Kinnersley. I mean,
Exactly.
that's the man who does the job.
Yeah.
But it's Peter.
Yes, with a you could imagine him lurking with a cane in some dark room somewhere, couldn't
Absolutely.
you? I wouldn't really like to
I've
guess what he
never
does,
heard of
but-
that role at
No,
any club.
No, isn't it fascinating?
I mean, it's probably easier for him to be discipline the crowd than it is the playing staff. As the crowd is probably a smaller bunch of people than the playing staff, with all their coaches and backroom staff and so on.
Oh, it's wonderful! It's a wonderful concept. I mean, we'll have to go and see if we can ask for him when we get to the ground.
We're
see if we
going,
can meet
we're
him.
going to find out.
From a safe distance, of course.
Well,
If
absolutely.
he's going to exert too much discipline, I think we have to back off. But unless
Do you think we need one at Edgar Street, discipline secretary? But
well, we've sort
we've
of
got to know
one,
what they
but,
do first.
Yeah.
haven't we, really?
Yes. It frightens me really. I mean, do you think he comes out at night? Exerts discipline on people. Worrying.
There must be a set of rules to go with it.
Yeah, strange things happen in Oxfordshire villages, don't they? There's been films about them,
Yes,
hasn't there? Yeah.
and this is the grounds of a stately home.
Yeah.
There will probably be a lot of sheep.
Oh gosh, yeah, sheep
Absolutely.
and a graveyard. The two don't mix, do
no,
they?
not indeed. No.
No,
I can now
no.
begin to understand it.
Yeah. The ground. Now, lovers of unusual venues would like this one if they can see it. It's a bit of a challenge, this place. As we said, it's in the grounds of Aynsham Hall. It's got an obscure entrance. There's one tiny little signpost that you struggle to see in the daylight, never mind at night.
Right. And this is just northeast of Whitney, yeah?
Yeah,
Oxfordshire.
it's a narrow lane. It's a forest track, basically, off the A4094. 100-metre long forest track,
Right.
which is going to be fun in the dark, isn't it? That opens into a grassed area.
It would be fun in daylight.
Yeah, exactly. And the grassed area basically is a pitch, and there's an old derelict clubhouse there, so try not to run into that.
Could have been the cricket ground then?
Could have been, yeah.
Stately hall, yep.
Yeah, park on the pitch, try not to hit anything or trip up on the dark ground.
Yep.
If it's a wet pitch, then there's a little bit of hard standing, but otherwise we'll have to park at the business park, 200 metres away, and then...
I can imagine that everybody goes there and parks their cars up, and all of a sudden the floodlights come on, you realise you've parked on the football pitch instead.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Now, Andy assures us there's a gravel path, if we can find it, to the ground, and there's normally one turnstile, but he has interrogated...
Could be another garden shed.
Yep, there could well be a garden shed. Andy's interrogated the people, except the discipline secretary, who wasn't there, and they said that they will be making additional entrance for us.
They will be making additional entrances?
Yes, additional entrances. Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it? Now, just to add to the fun, the pitch has a big slope. It's very, windborne-like, a mere 12 feet. Rolling down to one goal area. That's quite a slope, really, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, Edgar Street's got a slope, but it's nowhere near that much, surely. No. So, if you're at the top of the hill and you kick the ball, it just keeps rolling to get to the bottom, doesn't it? But it's quite a modest little ground. We've got the clubhouse and a small terrace stand behind one goal.
You're saying it's a bus shelter?
Well, you're saying it's a bus shelter.
You're implying it might
respect
be.
At all times here for other clubs.
You're implying that it might be a bus shelter. Now, hang on, when you talk about respect for the club, you were talking about one club, I seem to remember, and it might be Winchester, who you accused of getting their stands from various car boot sales. So,
that's true.
One of which was definitely a bus shelter.
Okay, but I'm cured now. I've seen the light. I've cured the light. And I haven't told you about the George Hazel stand yet.
George Hazel.
I've no idea. George Hazel is probably the local squire, but
it could be related to Peter.
It could be. Yes, the west side of the ground. 175 seats. And
that's it. That's the seating for the ground.
Yep. Now, as I said, they would like to imagine they could hold 2,500, but who the hell knows?
But what's the record?
426.
Right. Okay. That could get tested even on a Tuesday night in December.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, because they're so sure it's 2,500, there's not all ticket. Just turn up. Admission £8, £5 concessions, and if you don't mind taking the kids with you in December, it's under 16 and the 16s go free.
You know what? This could be 426. I'm going to lay it out to you people out there. I know it's a Tuesday night, I know it's December, it's before Christmas, but it's not very far. We could actually smash their ground attendance record here quite comfortably, quite easily. Allowing for the fact they might top their normal 85 up to 100 or so.
They may get 100,
350, 400 people from us is going to smash that record.
I'd like to think
and it would be, it'd be good.
Well, that's why they are expecting us to break their records, and if we don't break the record...
Was it 426 against Sainsbury's then?
No, that was 135, that was it.
We'll beat that.
I think it was an FA Cup match, I believe, against Swindon, and I may have got that wrong, but that's certainly the record.
Swindon and the FA Cup don't go very well together.
No, they don't.
Not where we're sitting at the moment. We are 3.5 miles from Stourbridge, of course.
Yes.
And whatever. So
happy days.
And Whitehall from
Brighton.
Oh, they're Brighton, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mind you, Swindon had a good time, didn't they?
Oh, yes, got beat at home by Eastleigh, but there you go. Yeah. So. Yeah, now if we don't break the record, you can imagine the discipline officers are going to be jolly cross.
Yes, we might get spanked on the way out.
Why didn't you bring more?
We'll send your missus out first then, mate. Okay, so
she got a stick, she can
exactly, we're alright. Just stick with her, we'll be alright.
She doesn't fall over again, but...
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, the clubhouse, I mean, this doesn't sound terribly exciting. The clubhouse has seen better days, and it's boarded up.
Even when it's open, it's boarded up?
Yeah, it's boarded up due to vandalism, so there's a room for 60 inside, which, oh Lord, it's not great, is it? They sell Banks's bitter.
Oh no.
Well, you wouldn't expect that in Oxfordshire, but I've had worse.
Banks's.
Thatcher's again, and Foster's. Now there you go, there's a drink for people with taste, not.
Terrestrial TV.
They've got a TV.
Sky.
Yeah, they've got a TV.
Black and white, I suppose, is it?
Oh, black and white.
One of those the bloke has to go and smash the side of it every 5 minutes.
It's a bit basic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have disabled toilets and disabled access to the clubhouse and ramps.
But nowhere to see.
Well, no, you've got to be careful with the ramps because they've got holes in them. Andy said
it's somewhere to put your stick.
Yeah, but you know, you're going to have the poor guys in the chairs getting stuck in the holes because they're that big, apparently.
There's a food outlet with a hatch outside.
Yeah, they'll have some kind of food, you know, presumably to be like deer and partridge, won't it, really?
I'm not sure. It's beginning to look like mushy peas.
Best not to ask where it comes from, you know, but now we've been promised all sorts of things, outside bars in December.
Yes. Now you have to remember that this, of course, is a rearranged match. It was originally on a Saturday, but because of their participation in the FA Cup, that match was cancelled, postponed, into this. So a lot of this information was given to us by North Leigh in expectation of this being a Saturday game, early in November.
But realistically, the bar only holds 60.
Yes.
They're going to have a problem, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I think
but when they say they provide outside bars
it'll be
and additional catering and toilets and whatever, you know, it's what I'm finding really interesting
might
is
be a guy with a can bank again.
The information they've given us is that they will provide outside bars, additional catering and toilets. And 4G is available. That will please Keith if he thinks he can get a signal.
Oh, put a grin on his face.
How it affects everybody else, I don't know. Do football supporters walking the grounds now look at their phones and say, "Oh, look, we've got 4G"?
They do in the Premier League. I kid you not, because they spend most of the games on the phone. But there you go.
Well, or yawning.
Yes, well, tell me about it. About it. Okay.
Is there any sort of nearby? Preferably doesn't have banks, or if it does, have something else.
Well, that's right. But you know, nearby is not easy when it's dark and you're talking narrow village lanes. The Mason's Arms is half a mile away. Nobody seems to know anything about the Mason Arms, so just ignore that one.
Yep.
The Woodman Inn, that seems to be far more user friendly. That's 3/4 of a mile away. Given it's night time, you're going to have to drive it because you know there's no pavements. And our reviewer went in the Woodman. You know, it's a difficult job. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
It's a sports bar type place. You know, We've got 3 real guest ales, which rotate. You know, it doesn't do much for the beer rotating it.
It doesn't really.
And they've also got...
Mind you, your head's spinning as well. Yeah. And if the beer's spinning, you've got no trouble. Yeah.
Stowford, quite a few people at Stowford, Guinness and various lagers. Do food, lots of good glowing reviews for the food. Open from noon, so, you know, you're going to get there from noon, you'll be well catered for.
Yeah.
Look, they do an offer on steak on Saturdays. It's no good, is it? It's no good now.
No, but if they out from noon, if people want to travel early to the game, get there early, have a meal beforehand,
civilised,
somewhere that could be. That is the Woodman, and it's in New
Road.
Yacht. That's Y-A-T-T. As in Simmons Yacht. That type of yacht.
Similarly.
And it's only 3/4 of a mile.
Now be careful. The big warning from Andy is take care. It's a village. There's no parking as such. Safe parking is very limited. Now that's during the day. You can imagine it's going to be like at night. So
especially if their clubhouse is boarded up because of vandalism.
Yeah. So you know, if you're parking there, think about it. You know, because it could cause you a problem. And we said 75 miles by road. Frankly, that's about the only way you're going to get there because although there's a station on London to Hereford to Paddington line.
Yeah.
Last train is 8:30.
It would have been brilliant on the Saturday.
It would have worked, yes.
It would have worked easily.
Yeah, Andy had kindly worked out all the train times and there was a chance of a shuttle bus, all sorts of things, but no. So
we're down to Reg. Now, we haven't been able to get in touch with Reg about this, but I'm going to imagine it's going to be the same sort of deal as Mangersfield was.
Exactly, he's a sensible chap.
It's likely to be 15 quid and leaving at 5 p.m, I would have thought. Yeah, but it's the same sort of distance and whatever. If it's a little bit more, don't blame us, Reg. We're just giving out the information that we think is probably going to be accurate. Check with Hereford away days. I know that he's already started putting. He's put the date up. He knows it's happening now. It won't be long before he puts the details up there, and all you regulars with Reg will be able to get on. Let's go for that ground record.
Well, that's right. It's it's a bit of a chore midweek in December, but it sounds a really different place. And
It certainly does.
And
It
we hope without being arrogant, we're only going to be visiting once, so grab that opportunity.
And it sounds to me, although I didn't go to the match, neither did you, but it's very similar sort of status as Shortwood.
Yeah.
So it could be a similar sort of thing, but not a similar sort of slope.
No slopes.
Yeah, because Shortwood was a flat ground on the side of a hill, whereas North Leigh is a sloping ground in a flat field. Which
with some mad geezer running around with a cane,
and Peter,
the discipline officer with the cane,
and some sheep. We think, could be interesting.
Yeah, I think I think we got to find out who this guy is when we go. In fact, everybody asks when they get to the turnstile. We need to talk to Peter, the discipline officer.
We have a complaint. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Guys. Please
now, one little thing for you. We're looking forward over the Christmas period to doing one of these recordings with a special guest from America.
Yeah, flying in just to talk to us. It's quite flattering.
That's Jo Clements, of course, coming in. I think she's flying in on about the 14th. Oh, she'll be in the county from the 18th, I think. So that's of December. So we will probably do, I would think, it'll be too late for the Bishop's Cleeve one. It'll be later one than that.
Maybe,
but anyway.
Yeah. But bear in mind, audience, we will have to adapt it for an American audience because you'll find it very strange otherwise.
Yes, and we will broadcast live to Trump Town. That would be quite. We'll see you all again soon. Thanks very much for listening.
This is Radio Hereford FC, the home of the Bulls. Match Day Live.